Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and anytime that there's a trending trade rumor out there, say that 5 times fast, I try to discuss it here on the Raiders Report, but I would not be able to do today's show if it wasn't for our awesome sponsor, Kanzuri. And if you're looking for some hype-boosting shoes, go to kanzuri.com/chat. That link's going to be available for you guys down in the comments and in the description of today's show. So, coming up here right now, I saw an article around Ahkello Witherspoon to Las Vegas. Will the Las Vegas Raiders end up making a deal, and how much would it cost? I will discuss all of that coming up here on today's show, and the reason why I'm doing it is because Bleacher Report put out an article, 5 NFL trades that should still happen before the 2023 NFL season. So when I said, okay, I saw the fact that the Raiders should go out and trade for a corner. I'm going to break it down whether or not I think it makes sense. I'm going to tell you whether or not I like the trade idea that they throw out there, and then we'll continue to go from there. Before I get into all of that, we do have the Noti Gang. If you don't know who the Noti Gang is, they are subscribed, they have their notifications turned on, and they take a lot of pride in being one of the first 5 commenters on a brand new Raiders video. So if you want a special shout out on a future Raiders Report show, join the Noti Gang. So shout out to 27 Raider Man, Eddie, David, Venom, Doreen. Damn. Shout out to you. All right, let's talk about this story, this trade rumor here. The 5 NFL trades that should still happen before the 2023 NFL season. Do the Raiders still need a cornerback? Yes, they still do. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they overhauled at the corner position this offseason, and there is some need for the Raiders to go out and get a longer, lanky corner like a Witherspoon. My only concern with all of this is you still have to give up extra draft capital. And the way that this Raiders team looks to me is they don't want to have to give up any more draft capital even for next season. I think what you saw Ziegler and McDaniels do this year is stock up, and if they want to trade up, they have the ability to trade up. Before I give you my answer, though, is do the Raiders need to add another corner? Give me a Y for yes, or I want you to type your N for no. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show, so please scroll on down while you're going to hit with that YouTube ad break and give me a yes, or you can give me a no. Do the Raiders need to add a corner? The answer to that is yes. However, do I want it to be Ahkello Witherspoon, though? That is a whole nother part of this discussion. And the reason why I don't really want the Raiders to go out and get Witherspoon, it's because he hasn't really been healthy, and even when he's been on the field, it's not worth, to me, to go out and try to get a player to give up draft capital. I mean, look at these career PFF grades. A 45.4, that's last season. 2021, a 75.8. Again, not a lot of time. He's played with the Steelers. He's played with the San Francisco 49ers. But the reason why I believe he was mentioned is this. He's a long, lanky corner, which is something that the Raiders, sure, they need. They also need some extra help, and they need a veteran at the cornerback position. Pittsburgh Steelers, they have too much, so if you can buy low, that's the thought process, at least I think, and why Bleacher Report did what they did. 20 tackles, an INT, 2 PBUs, all of those reasons. You can throw it in there. When at one point, Witherspoon was a pretty good corner. However, though, I don't know if I love the idea right now for the Raiders. Coming up here next on this show, I'm actually going to show you the trade and some of the reasons why Bleacher Report thought that the trade ends up making sense. But today's show is presented by Kanzuri, and you can get 15% off. Just make sure you use promo code CHAT at kanzuri.com/chat. If you don't know who Kanzuri is, well, fellas, are you tired of feeling insecure about your height? Kanzuri makes shoes that can add up to 2.8 inches to your height discreetly. Women get heels, makeup, and push-up bras. Why can't men get a confidence boost too? Kanzuri shoes are not only height-boosting, but also stylish and comfortable. They're not grandpa's Velcro shoes, but fashionable shoes that can receive compliments even without the height increase. The height insoles are integrated into the shoes, making it the ultimate height hack. For a limited time, Kanzuri is offering our viewers an exclusive discount of 15% off on top of their 30% site-wide discount. Use code CHAT at kanzuri.com/chat to get your 45% off. Don't wait any longer. Upgrade your shoe game and get your confidence now at kanzuri.com/chat. When I want to get high, I put on a pair of Kanzuris. The link is going to be available for you guys in the comments and in the description of today's show. So whether you need a casual shoe for you and you're just hanging out with your friends, maybe you're going something with date night, or if you need something that's a little bit more fancy, Missouri has all of those possibilities for you, and we have a hell of a deal going on right now with them. So one more time, it's Missouri.com/chat for some height-boosting shoes. Don't get me wrong, I'm 5'10", and if there's a day where I can be 6 foot, don't get me wrong, man. I'm gonna try to do it. So shout out to Missouri for sponsoring the Raiders Report. All right, let's go hear what Bleacher Report had to say on the Raiders trading for Witherspoon. The Pittsburgh Steelers overhauled the cornerback position this offseason, signing veterans Patrick Peterson and Sullivan on the open market and selecting Joey Porter Jr. and Cory Trice Jr. in the draft. The Las Vegas Raiders would be a good fit for Witherspoon. The team has a lack of talented veterans in the secondary, with Duke Shelley and David Long Jr. projected to be the two starters on the outside. The club did just use a 4th-round pick to draft Jakorian Bennett, but it will want to grab at least one more experienced defensive back before training camp begins. While the team has some free agent options it could still explore, Witherspoon may be the best choice given his relatively cheap cost. He has a $5.5 million cap hit in 2023. The final year of his current deal, age and experience, as he's 28 years old and heading into his 7th NFL season. So this was the trade that Bleacher Report ended up cooking. The Steelers, they receive a 6th-round pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. The Raiders get Witherspoon. So my question out to all of you is this. You're sitting at home, you get the notification, hey, the Raiders, they just traded for Ahkello Witherspoon. What do you think? Do you like that deal? If it was a 2024 6th-round pick, do you make that deal? I want you to type T for trade, or I want you to type your P for pass. Please let me know right now down in the comments. The reason why I'm going to go no is because there's no reason for the Raiders to make a trade for Witherspoon. There are still a lot of other better options on the free agent market. Like, if Witherspoon was coming off a career year, if Witherspoon was like this dude that I thought was really, really going to fit this Raider system, sure. To me, though, he's not. He played in only 4 games last season due to an injury, and he's been battling a hamstring injury for many years now, honestly. He has played in 13 games the past 2 seasons. I'm sorry, but if you're going to pass on Rock Ya-Sin, and the only knock on Ya-Sin was his inability to stay healthy, how can you look at me then and say that, well, I want Witherspoon? He hasn't had more than a 14-game played ever in a season. He's never done it. He's going to be 28 years old, and he's never been able to stay on the field. So that's why I'm not going to go out, and I'm not going to trade for Witherspoon. Is the 6th-round pick value there? Sure. Cool. But why give up a draft pick when there are much better players still available on the free agent market? 2022, 20 tackles, 2 PBUs, 1 interception. Last season with the Pittsburgh Steelers, 15 tackles, 3 INTs. The 3 INTs, they are impressive. But then the other thing that, Bleacher Report is failing to realize here is Witherspoon, to me, is not that good of a press man corner. He's too soft. Is he a good athlete? Yes, but the Raiders, they want physicality. And they want dudes who are not afraid to go up there and hit you in the mouth a little bit. And to me, that's not what Witherspoon's going to bring to the table. So you're trying to get all these molds of a certain corner. Duke Shelley, good press man corner. David Long Jr., good press man corner. Nate Hobbs, good press man corner. Tyler Hall, good press man corner. You are going for a certain breed of corner because you want to play a certain style of defense. Witherspoon, I'm sorry, does not play that style of defense. So yeah, you can say that they want a longer corner, they want a veteran. But if you don't really know the ins and outs of this team, you're just spitballing, and I'm sorry. This was a swing and a miss by Bleacher Report. Some other Raiders cornerback targets, and if you want more extensive analysis on these 10 players, there is a video out right now on the Raiders Report channel. Top 10 cornerback targets in free agency. I break it all down. I would rather have Shaquille Griffin. I would rather have Casey Hayward. Give me a Marcus Peters. Hell, give me a Troy Hill. There's a lot of different options that the Raiders could go with before you decide to trade for Ahkello Witherspoon. Coming up next here on the Raiders Report, I got some don't sleep on these Raiders corners prospects because we talk a lot about the defense. And if you're a Raider fan, that's where the conversation goes. What the hell does this defense look like? I'm going to give you a few names and players of I don't want you to sleep on these guys because if you're like, oh, I want Witherspoon, let me give you a few names to calm your nerves a little bit. Now, friendly reminder, you can always interact with me on social media. I'm at MitchellRens365. I'm also over on Locals, where I try to go live every Monday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for extra Raiders live content. So let's go back to the Raiders cornerback depth chart real quick. In terms of some of the players here that you see on screen, I'm going to go through and just give you a few names in terms of guys who you shouldn't sleep on. Let's go to the first dude here. He's a rookie, Jakorian Bennett. The Raiders traded up for him. Anytime a team trades up for a player, it means they like him a lot. And Bennett is a good athlete who's going to want to get physical. Ran a 4.3140 at the combine. And when you watch some of his traits, the more and more tape you watch on him, the more and more you're going to be like, all right, this guy was a really good pick here for the Raiders. Let's go to another player, Duke Shelley. Go look at Minnesota Vikings social media when the Raiders ended up getting Shelley for what they did. It was meltdown mode. He was a top 6 cornerback, according to PFF, against press man coverage. That's why the Raiders went out and got him. Is he small? Yeah, but dude's a dog. David Long Jr., another player who offers you that press man ability. The Raiders had certain players in mind. They wanted to go a little bit cheaper at the cornerback position, but Duke Shelley, David Long Jr., good players. And you had the rookie in Jakorian Bennett. The biggest question mark, and I'm going to look at this glass half full, is Nate Hobbs. You have your rookie season, one of the best slot corners in the NFL. I don't care what anyone says. Sophomore year, a little bit of a slump, but it was with a brand new defensive coordinator. Now you have Nate Hobbs, who we all know is a very athletic player. He gets that extra year in a Patrick Graham system, extra year to learn it. I'm going to bet money that Nate Hobbs goes back to being one of the best damn corners in the NFL. And then another player that the Raiders are very high on, and, Bleacher Report in that article says Duke Shelley, David Long Jr. are going to be the outside corners. It's a possibility. This is the guy that I think not nearly enough of people are paying attention to. There's a chance that Tyler Hall could be the Raiders' starting slot corner, which then puts Nate Hobbs back on the outside. And then I say Duke Shelley is probably a better fit than David Long Jr. But to me, if Tyler Hall can be that dude, and the Raiders are extremely, extremely high on him, like, as soon as the season ended, Tyler Hall, we're keeping you around. Hell, they might even did before the season ended. I know they love him a lot, and if he balls out this offseason, look out for him, because then there is no need to go out and get Witherspoon, who, again, not very physical, has had a ton of injury concerns. You're going to have to pay him $5.5 million, which might not sound a lot, the Bleacher Report. That would be the highest paid corner on this Raiders team. If you weren't willing to give Rocky Sin $6 million, why the hell am I going to trade for somebody who I also have to give that person 5.5? Sorry, I'm good. Before I wrap up today's show, friendly reminder that you can win 2 Raiders tickets to the home opener. 100% free, and it's free to enter. All you got to do, go to the link that you see down there below at blackoutdivision.com. Jeremy Jugs and I are going to be announcing the winner to this giveaway on Thursday during the Raiders schedule release. We're going to be live a little bit earlier, interacting with the nation. It's going to be a hell of a time. So if you like our live shows, I can promise you this: you are going to like what we have in store for you on Thursday. So if you made it this far in the video, you're a real one. Huge shout out to you. Spam RO4L down in the comments. And please take a second, hit that subscribe button, and turn on those notifications.